G'day guys, what's going on? Super Bro here. Today I'm going over my round review. I scored 2,199. Went up the ranks 2,921 spots, just outside of the top 10k for the round 15 review. Not ideal. I need to try and get back into the top 10k, but it is what it is. So on the Thursday night, I made some pretty risky trades last week. Used three trades. Traded out Gawn, Sandy Brock, and Hewitt. So all players that had their buy, and I bought in Luke Jackson, Archer May, and George Hewitt. So pretty nice trading options this week, which was pretty ideal for me. Had the VC on Jackson, got 186. Can't ask for anything better. He was the top scoring player of the round, so it worked out a treat for me. Couldn't be more happy about that pick. And then Hewitt, in hindsight, probably could have gone with Mills instead, but pretty happy to bring Hewitt in. Like, couldn't really predict these things. He scored 171 last time he played North Melbourne, so I thought I'd bring him in just in case he has another high ceiling game. But 109 is a pretty nice score anyway. And then Archer May, I think he kicked like 2 goals or something, so scored an 83 from some other contested possessions. Sorry. So that was pretty nice. So yeah, someone you might want to target after the bye, who is cheap and is likely to stay in the team there. So yeah, pretty happy to get his points on the field. Kind of helped me out there with a few dud scores, like a few of these 65 scores from some primos, which isn't ideal. Anyway, going over to the side, Holmes 110 was pretty nice. Sinclair didn't get much of it, so only scored a 65 there. It was the day to own Winhager. He went nuts, so a bit upset about that one. Didn't get him, so no good there. But yeah, pretty good week regardless. And then Dale didn't see much of the ball compared to previous weeks. Obviously, it's just living in the forward line for the Bulldogs. So against the Tigers there, 83 is decent enough. He'll take that. A bit of a down game for him. Rosie had a bit of a down game as well, which is unfortunate. It'll be interesting to see his role. Is it going to change or stay the same this week against Carlton coming forward? But yeah, he kind of seems to be like floating between defence and the midfield at the moment, which is kind of interesting. And then Whitfield got concussed, so that's a bit annoying for, the total score for the week kind of went pretty poor there. Probably could have scored a bit better if Whitfield had scored well. But yeah, you can't really predict these things. It's a bit unfortunate. Lucky's got the bye. Hopefully he'll be right to come back after the bye. Carroll's like pretty decent. Held on to him a bit longer. Squeezed a bit more cash out of him. Can go up another 26k there with the -8 break even, but I think I'm going to have to just trade him out for my trade plans this week. I don't really have enough cash anywhere else to afford any players, so I think Carroll has to go. Even though he can, make a little bit more cash for us, I think he's done his job for me, so I'm going to have to just get rid of him. Then Bont got the 177, which was crazy. Exactly what we needed after a shocking week before where he got a heavy tag from Winhager, I believe it was. Yeah, just came out and, pumped out his highest score for the year, so that's good to see. And then Sarong was pretty nice as well. He's in pretty good form at the moment. So, yeah, he's actually going back up in price. It's going to be 600k again soon. Pretty happy to see this back-to-back 140s. So, yeah, pretty nice stuff. And then Dacos, 157 was great. But, yeah, most people have him. Probably going to be the C option this week for most people as well against West Coast there. Neil was a bit disappointing. Copped a bit of a tag against the Cats. And then Merritt is probably a trade-in target if you don't have him. I think after his bye, maybe you should look at him because he's got Gold Coast, who are pretty favourable matchups for midfielders, and then Richmond after that. So should be pretty nice, but haven't had a close look at the tagging options. Like maybe you'll get a tag in on the GWS matchup there, and Sydney's coming up, so could get another tag as well. Maybe even St Kilda there. So is it a good trade-in? Not too sure, but I think for the first 2 games after his bye, he's going to be a pretty nice option to bring in at that price. So I don't think I've seen him that cheap for like a couple years, which is nuts. And then we've got Doherty here, who scored 99, and I was pretty annoyed about that, to be honest. I saw him on the fantasy score. He had like 131, and I was like, if only that could have been a SuperCoach score, I would have been climbing the ranks a bit more, maybe I would have got in the top 10k from that. But yeah, bloody annoying, especially considering like the people that were looking at Doherty might have gone with McKercher, and he only scored like a 96, so not too far behind Doherty there. So pretty annoying in that sense. So yeah, kind of wanted to climb the ranks a bit more from the pod, but yeah, it didn't really work out. Hopefully you can just keep pumping these scores out for the remainder of the year. But yeah, Jacob Wiedering copped a little bit of a knock, but then came back onto the field. So I was hoping that he would take more kickouts, but he only took a few, but who knows. And who else was it? Mitch McGovern was playing a bit forward as well, so it kind of helps out Doherty's role there. So yeah, can only hope for the best. And then Cherry had a down game, so I think he got double teamed in the ruck from who was it? Bloody Pitnett. Yep. And DeConing. So they played 2 rucks, and yeah, Cherry had like the worst score of the year, was it, for him? Got a 213 break even. It kind of makes me wonder if I had have traded out Cherry instead of Gawn, but yeah, probably not a big deal. I think Gawn's matchup coming forward's pretty bad. Like, he's got 4 red opponents. I was just having a gaze at who was it? Paddy Lipinski. I saw he scored like a 138 or something. I was like, wow, what position is he playing? He wasn't getting CBAs. I think he was just in the forward line, just forward pocket or something. Maybe centre forward, I don't know, somewhere around there. Getting to the stoppage. Have a quick look, actually. So yeah, it doesn't look like he's getting any CBA time. It's just a couple goals there, so, and a few contested possessions. But yeah, I think I'd rather go for other value options over him anyway. But getting back out into the team, Witts came out and pumped out a 163, so that was pretty nice for our team. But it's a bit annoying though this week, because even though I did get like the highest 3 like scoring players from my team, they all scored well. Sorry, like I had a few of the highest scores in my team. Other pod ruckmen, sorry, like Grundy and Darcy Cameron and Tim English all scored pretty well. So it's a bit annoying, owning Witts as like a pod ruckman, and then these other ones pretty much scoring close to him. So you don't really get much advantage over the other guys in the competition, because all the ruckmen are going pretty well. But yeah, it is what it is. Not too bad though. He's got Gawn this week, so that'll be an interesting matchup. See how he goes there. Probably won't score as good as this week, but yeah, I was praying for him to score pretty well in my trade video, because he was versing the rookie ruckman for GWS, I believe. So yeah, that worked out a treat. Highest score of the year. Pretty happy about that. And then yeah, Bailey Smith got a bit of attention from Dunkley, I think it was. So yeah, didn't score too well. Petrarch will come back. Hopefully he can bounce back after the shocking week he had last week. I think he scored like 68 or something. So yeah, not ideal. Got Gold Coast though, so should be a pretty favourable matchup. Sorry there. And then McRae, yeah, went nuts. So that was awesome. And Shea Bolton, pretty annoying. Like, he had a few chances to kick a couple goals, but yeah, missed a few of those. Started talking a bit of lip, and yeah, no, it didn't work out well for him. And Chad Warner with a 93 just hasn't been the pick I thought he'd be this year, so pretty frustrating. Rankin comes back this week, got the Tigers, so hopefully he can actually do something for us, because he's been that bad since I brought him into my team. Like, I think I bought him in after his 138, highest score of the year for him, and yeah, he can't even ton up. So let's hope that he can ton up for us, because yeah, he would have been an absolute failed pick for me if he doesn't go well. But yeah, I don't have too much cash flow on the side at the moment. Like, I've got Archer May here, who might get a bit of coin into him, if he does maintain his spot in the side. But I think he will after a pretty nice game there with an 83. Johnson, not too sure about him. I might have to trade him out, even though he's got a bit more money to be made. I think I just have to do it. And Clark, probably can hold on to him. I think probably have to trade out Carroll instead, just to get the most money off of my team, but I can't really afford many players. I think the clear trading option for me is Mills at 395k. He scored the 121, so most people probably trade him in. Got a break even of 5, going to go up, 42k. That's pretty crazy. So I think he's pretty sweet to trade in. He was taking the kickouts for the Swans, so I think he's ahead of like Roberts and maybe even Blakey down there. So think he's got a good role, and yeah, he had one down game of a 69 there, so I think should be a pretty safe guy to bring in, and he does have the ceiling from the past. Like he's pumped out 200s and stuff in the last couple of years. So, like I said last time, I think getting him at this price is an absolute bargain. So yeah, it should be pretty sweet. Butler's an interesting one if you want to bring him in if he's going to get named. I was thinking about bringing him in last week, but I wasn't sure on the job security with a few inclusions for the Hawks. Um, so I think for me, I think I need to get McCarthy and Mills. Just it works out just about right, I believe. If I trade out Carroll, probably could hold him another week, but don't think it's very necessary to do that. I think I just need to finish off my team basically. So if we can grab Mills here, should just work out. Put me down to what? Oh, why is it doing this? Put me down to 4 trades, a bit risky. God damn it. Come on today, please. And then just grab McCarthy. Today. Oh, bit of a lag. Yeah, what about McCluggage though? He would have been a beast pod if you had picked him. I just, wasn't too sure about him. But yeah, it's probably the season where you got to go for the guys that aren't getting tagged every week. So, McCluggage, no wonder he's like so expensive, one of the top midfielders at the moment, because Neil just cops it every week, or it's someone else like Dunkley. But I think what I figured out is that the ruckman are probably the best to go for. Like Jackson, maybe I should have gone earlier on him because he's not really going to get tagged, and he's got some opportunity to play in the ruck there. So I think they're like better options. And same with like Darcy, he's another one of those guys you probably want in your team because yeah, he gets ruck minutes, and you can kick goals pretty easily, a bit like Jackson. So it's like having another ruckman in the forward line. I probably should have looked a bit closer into that, but yeah, I was a bit concerned about his injury history though. So yeah, not ideal there. So yeah, Bo Allen's another guy that's popped up, but yeah, I'd probably recommend going for Darcy if you've got enough trades. So I just can't afford to get him in at the moment. I think he's got Sydney this week. Yeah, and I'm not really sure who's going to match up on him. He's just going to absolutely dominate Sydney, you would imagine. Like, who's going to line up on Darcy that's actually a good defender? So he's probably going to go nuts. Could even be a VC option if you wanted to do that. Kicked about 5 goals, I think. So against the Tigers, so might be due for another 5 against the Swans, but pretty interesting game, I reckon, at the SCG. The Horny Man is another guy. Like, if you want to bring him in this week, I'd say give it the green light and go for it. But yeah, I can't really afford anyone else besides Mills. And yeah, Bo Allen is also available if you want to grab him. He's dropped a bit in price, I believe, from being the sub. So yeah, he's someone that, looks like he's played a full game and scored 69 this time. And yeah, perfect time to bring him in. But I can't afford him. McCarthy's the clear number 1 trade-in target. Obviously, though, if you don't have him, got the negative 93 break even, which is actually cooked. Scored the 133. So yeah, he's seems to just have taken Marrick's role down back, and taken the kick-ins, which is crazy for a first gamer. But yeah, probably you'd be aware of it anyway. Most people should bring him in. That gives me enough. I think I've got 19 players now, so pretty happy with that. Otherwise, I would have only had 17 if I didn't do any trades. So should be all good. VC and C options, not too sure. Well, Dacos is the obvious target. And then who else do we want? Wits, nah. Cherry against The Hawks, not too sure. I think he plays pretty decent against them, so could be a shout for a bounce back game, but probably not super confident in that one. Jackson could be a C option if Darcy's not playing against Rowan, so yeah, should be pretty nice to do that. But who else is there? If you got any Adelaide players, like I wouldn't recommend putting the C on Rankin, but if you got Dawson, then could do the VC on Dacos into Dawson. That one probably works out pretty well. How about Hewitt? He might cop a bit of a tag though from Drew or someone, I would imagine. But what about Paddy Cripps though? He's been that bad. Like, I can't believe he's that bad. Like, he's won 2 Brownlows and he's like 460k. I was thinking about trading him in a couple of weeks ago as well. I was like, thank God I didn't do that. Lost 130k. Like, is this the week he actually does something? He just hasn't done anything all year, which is pretty crazy to think. Like, what is actually wrong with him? It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he's someone that I'll probably keep an eye on for a value option later if I want to get another 23rd there over McCarthy. But, you know, at this rate, McCarthy's probably going to outscore Cripps. So you can just be happy to field him there. So Bont against Sydney, like, it is a green matchup, I'm pretty sure, on DFS. Let me just double check that. The Bulldogs. Oh, it's just a white. I feel like, you know, they'll try and tag him, but it's a bit risky for like the tag thought. But yeah, what are they going to do? Not much. And then Windhager's probably going to go to Sarong, you would imagine, over Brayshaw, because he's been tearing it up. So maybe this is the week where Brayshaw goes nuts and Sarong gets tagged. And then who else have I kind of got here? I don't really have anyone else that I probably... What about Petrarca against... Could be a bit of a pod move there. Let me just double check that matchup. Melbourne. Yeah, it's a green matchup, so... Let me just... Yep. So yeah, could do that as a bit of a cheeky one. But yeah, I would imagine that Gold Coast will win that game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. McRae, I'm pretty sure he scores well against Freo. I think, yeah, he got like a 160 in round 8, so is it a fullback C option though? Is a bit risky, isn't it? For him anyway. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one this week. I don't really have any clear options as of yet. What are the defenders like against Sydney? Green matchup. Yeah, that's interesting. Who just played Sydney again? Port Adelaide. Yeah, not too many high scores there from the defenders, so probably not too sure about that one. Rosie, what's his history like? Not ideal. Yeah, it's a bit of a... I think the obvious one is Dacos, obviously. And then maybe you just go back in like a Bontempelli type. Maybe do the opposite. Just take the punt, the VC on Bont maybe. VC on Bont into Dacos is pretty safe. Otherwise, could have a bit more of a risk maybe in someone else, like a Petrarca maybe, or a Isaac Rankin. But yeah, you can't really go on Rankin there because you'd have to put the... Or you could do the VC, like VC Dacos into Rankin, but I probably wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd rather go like the VC on Bont into Dacos option there for me. Just have a quick look again at the inside mids matchup. Carlton with Hewitt. Now, orange matchup. Yeah, not too appealing. But yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments down below how you guys are traveling, how many trades you guys have left, and if you got full primo yet or not. But that's my side for the moment. This is what I'm leaning towards at the moment. VC on Bont into Dacos, pretty safe bet there. I think it works out well because then, if Bont does get tagged, you've got the fullback option for Dacos. But if he doesn't get tagged and he goes nuts, then we'll be pretty happy with that. So I think it works out pretty well. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you guys are going. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and see you later. Bye.